Now, as they say on University Challenge, your starter for 10, or perhaps in this case, it should be your starter for number 10. The question today, when is a windfall tax not a windfall tax? Yes, it's a tricky one. And even taxing, if you pardon the expression, the best minds in the Treasury and this morning, all the minds left in Downing Street too, including the Prime Minister. Now, they won't want to call it a crisis meeting, but that's exactly what it is, or has been rather. The Chancellor, Nadhim Zahawi, and Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng gathered in number 10 to meet those leaders of the leading power supply companies, Centrica, Scottish, and also EDF. Also officials from the national grid there. Well, the backdrop is the latest shocking estimate from analysts as to the price cap now hitting more than £5,000. Analysts Axelion warning the January figure will be 4,467, far outstripping anything so far announced in government financial aid. An additional shock, consumers being told that suggestions the national grid preparing to war game power cuts and rationing for the coming winter. So both candidates for the hot seat in number 10, perhaps now resembling something more akin to an electric chair, are having to explain or over-interpret, as the Truss camp likes to say, how they're going to help us pay for it all. And this is where it gets interesting, just in case you're about to pop off and put on the kettle for one last time. Treasury sources were briefing as recently as Tuesday evening that top of the agenda today will be a windfall tax on the power companies to give the government a nice cash pile to hand out to both the needy and the not-so-needy to pay those huge new bills. Officials were looking to go, they said, further and faster on action over energy profits, they told journalists, because the energy companies had brought in profits, and I quote, beyond their wildest expectations. But this appeared to jolt Team Truss in particular to a shocked reaction. Business Secretary Kwasi Kwarteng, a close Truss supporter, of course, letting it be known that the government was rowing back from threatening the companies with a windfall tax. Now, remember, it's only the oil companies so far having to foot that particular extra 25% bill on their profits from May the 26th onwards. So today was, suggested Camp Kwarteng, going to be a far more limited and civilised discussion about investment, wholesale prices, security of supply, nothing so uncouth as extra tax. The Chancellor, Nadhim Zahawi, has kept his counsel and perhaps unable to put anything into action until a new PM agrees it anyway. But Camp Sunak, well, they've been talking of chaos and confusion and that Liz Truss's economic plans are now, quote, as clear as mud, unquote. Why does it all matter? Well, because your direct debits are likely to be climbing pretty rapidly at the end of this month now, even before a new Prime Minister has stepped over the threshold of number 10. We're told households already owe £1.3 billion in arrears to the energy suppliers. That's 6 million homes with an average unpaid bill of £206. The protest group Don't Pay UK, now nearly 100,000 signatories, 99,514 to be exact, on their online petition threatening to halt direct debits from October the 1st. Now, you may remember there was a celebrated play in the 1970s, Can't Pay, Won't Pay, written by Italian dramatist Dario Fo. It became an international hit. Well, if anyone's thinking of reviving it now, they may have to change it to Can't Pay, Don't Pay. And this time it may be a tragedy, not a comedy.